After nearly a decade in sales and marketing within B2B sports tech, here are my tips on how to build a commercial engine for B2B sports technology companies. A couple of weeks ago, we went through the basics of brand messaging and website design within B2B sports technology. The principles then, again at the very beginning and infancy of our business, was to keep it simple. We looked at some pretty easy ChatGPT prompts to get out some brand messaging. We looked at quick ways to get a website up, whether it was a little bit of an investment or just a ClickFunnels website. But now we're at the next stage of marketing and we're 1, 2, 3 years into business, and it's now time to start investing into these types of resources. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the expert at houses for copywriting and web design. We have a fantastic team that help with that, but I'll tell you why it's important for the next stage within B2B sports tech. And it's got a lot to do with globalization. I've experienced it firsthand. Once it's time for companies to start expanding into different markets, it's no good just grabbing a local person and plopping it in that country and say, hey, we're now in America now, or we're now in Germany now. There needs to be a little bit more investment in that. And a lot of that comes down to brand messaging and a little bit over onto the website. Let me give you an example. In wider marketing, let's say I've got a product that I'm trying to go after dads. Now, there are so many different subsections of dads. There's dads by geography, there's dads by age, there's girl dads or boy dads, there's single dads, divorced dads. There's so many different categories. Within sports technology, those sorts of sub-avatars aren't as much. So the biggest differences between our ideal customers is their geography and the leagues within which they're working. There's no point in me trying to bombard and get meetings and get messaging and get content in front of someone who's working in the top 6 of an EPL team in February, March. They're going to be absolutely chockers. There's no point me reaching out to a national team during the World Cup. Another example of this is the different naming conventions that exist for sports scientists globally or strength and conditioning coaches globally. There's athletic trainers in the United States. Not too long ago, a lot in the UK were referred to as fitness coaches and still are. So when it's time to start investing in your next stage of brand messaging and website design, I'd not only be thinking about, the next stage of a company and where your company's at and new messages and before we were just a startup, but now we're here and we're ready to rock and roll. I'd also be thinking about your localized marketing. How are we going to speak to strength coaches that are in collegiate programs in America versus how we're going to speak to strength and conditioning coaches that work for AFL teams? There's going to be a different approach. Put some time and thought into your most important asset, which is the consumer, their wants and how they want to consume your message and your content. We've nearly finished up our overview on sales and marketing tips within B2B sports technology. If you want to see what we've covered so far, just click the link below, follow for more. See you then.